Ladies and gentlemen, the foundation of all success, whether in life, love, or business, rests upon the principle of self-mastery. Among the most potent forms of this mastery lies the art of selective communication, knowing what to reveal and, more importantly, what to withhold. There are 5 critical things that must never be fully disclosed, for in hiding these, strength is preserved and influence magnified. First, never expose the depth of your emotions. Unchecked emotional expression is a vulnerability that others will exploit. Control over feelings is a form of power. When you conceal the tempest within, you remain the calm in the storm, the one who commands respect rather than sympathy. Second, keep your greatest ambitions close to the chest. Ambitions, when prematurely revealed, can invite doubt, jealousy, or sabotage. Success is born in secrecy. Cultivate your dreams silently, nurturing them until they bloom into undeniable reality. Third, maintain a veil of mystery over your past struggles and failures. History, when overshared, can become a chain, but when reserved, it becomes a testament to resilience and wisdom. The less you reveal of your battles, the more others will admire your strength and focus on your victories. Fourth, guard your thoughts about others and your personal judgments. Sharing every opinion can breed unnecessary conflict and diminish respect. Wisdom is often found in silence, and the art of selective speech ensures that your words carry weight and intention. Finally, set clear boundaries around your vulnerabilities. Revealing too much weakness invites intrusion. A fortress must have walls. Those walls are the lines you draw around your personal life, your fears, and your deepest insecurities. Respect begins with respect for oneself. In the end, the path to true influence and success lies not only in what is said, but in what is strategically left unsaid. Harness this discipline, and you hold the keys to commanding respect, preserving your power, and shaping the reality you desire. It is often underestimated how profoundly powerful the art of mystery can be in shaping not only relationships, but also one's own sense of identity and influence. Mystery is not about deception. Rather, it is a deliberate choice to preserve certain elements of oneself, keeping them hidden from immediate view, like a precious treasure guarded in a vault. This intentional withholding is a strategic tool that cultivates respect, intrigue, and lasting attraction. When everything is exposed without filter or discretion, the allure fades, and what remains is often a shallow impression, vulnerable to judgment and misunderstanding. Mystery commands attention because it invites curiosity. When all aspects of a person's character, thoughts, or experiences are laid bare, the mind no longer has anything to explore or wonder about. Curiosity is the fuel of fascination, and fascination is the foundation upon which influence and respect are built. To maintain mystery is to keep alive the spark of interest. It is an invitation to others to engage, to discover, and to earn glimpses into deeper layers. This dynamic is essential not only in personal connections, but also in any situation where influence is desired. Moreover, mystery nurtures a sense of autonomy and control. In a world where oversharing is the norm, those who master the ability to retain parts of themselves unseen wield power effortlessly. They control the narrative of who they are by choosing what to disclose and when. This selective revelation prevents others from forming premature judgments or assumptions based on incomplete or raw information. It also safeguards emotional energy by minimizing unnecessary vulnerabilities. When one's inner world is not fully displayed, fewer opportunities arise for exploitation or misunderstanding. There is also a psychological component to mystery that benefits the one who embraces it. By not rushing to reveal all facets of oneself, there is time and space for self-reflection and growth. It encourages a person to understand their true values, desires, and goals before broadcasting them. Mystery becomes a form of self-respect, a way to honor one's own journey without the pressure of external validation or approval. This internal discipline fosters confidence because it reinforces that one's worth does not depend on constant exposure or explanation. It is important to understand that mystery does not mean isolation or coldness. Rather, it is about creating a balanced presence that is open enough to connect but reserved enough to maintain dignity and strength. The person who embodies mystery is approachable but never fully predictable. This unpredictability keeps interactions fresh and engaging, which deepens bonds and builds lasting intrigue. When mystery is lost, relationships can become stagnant or superficial because the sense of discovery diminishes. By contrast, mystery maintains an ongoing dynamic where respect and interest continue to grow. In practice, maintaining mystery involves resisting the urge to disclose every thought, feeling, or detail immediately. It means cultivating patience in communication and being mindful about the information shared. This discipline is not only protective but also empowering. When one chooses carefully what to reveal, it demonstrates a high level of self-control and intelligence, qualities that others naturally admire. The power of mystery lies not in hiding out of fear, but in choosing to reveal oneself only when it serves a purpose or aligns with one's highest interests. In any interaction, the presence of mystery creates a psychological advantage. Others are drawn in by what is not said, prompted to pay closer attention, and motivated to engage more deeply. This dynamic can shift the balance of power subtly but significantly. Instead of being fully understood and therefore fully known, one becomes an enigma that invites exploration and effort. It is through this effort that respect and value are often built. Nothing that comes too easily is truly appreciated. Furthermore, mystery helps protect against emotional exhaustion. When all thoughts and feelings are shared freely and quickly, there is little reserve left for moments of challenge or conflict. But when some things are held back, there is a reservoir of inner calm and strength that can be called upon when needed. This reserve is what enables composure under pressure and resilience in adversity. Mystery, in this way, becomes a shield as well as a source of power. It is essential to recognize that the world often rewards those who are mysterious because they are seen as having layers, depth, and substance beyond the superficial. People naturally gravitate toward those who seem complex yet grounded, intriguing yet reliable. The balance is delicate, but when mastered, it makes the difference between being simply noticed and being truly remembered. To summarize the essence of this principle, mystery is not about deceit, but about strategic preservation. It is the choice to withhold full disclosure in order to preserve dignity, command respect, and sustain interest. Mystery fosters autonomy, fuels curiosity, nurtures self-respect, and protects emotional energy. It is one of the most subtle yet profound forms of power one can possess. Those who embrace mystery do not give away their strength. They cultivate it, carefully shaping how and when the world is allowed to see their true selves. When mystery is lost, what remains is vulnerability without protection, exposure without control. When it is embraced, what is created is a presence that commands attention, invites respect, and sustains influence over time. The power of mystery is not just an art, it is a discipline, a strategy, and above all, a path to mastery over oneself and one's environment. One of the greatest marks of true strength and wisdom lies in the mastery of one's own emotions. Emotional control is not about suppressing feelings or denying their existence. It is about recognizing their power and learning how to channel them with precision and intention. When emotions run unchecked, they become wild forces that cloud judgment, weaken resolve, and open the door to manipulation. But when managed skillfully, emotions become allies, fuel for action rather than chains of reaction. Emotions are like the weather. They come and go, sometimes intense and overwhelming, sometimes gentle and calm. Yet, unlike the weather, how one responds to these inner storms defines character and ultimately determines success. To show every emotional impulse is to relinquish control over oneself. It invites others to read, predict, and sometimes exploit the fluctuations of the heart and mind. Those who display every joy, fear, anger, or sadness become vulnerable to influence and lose the commanding presence that true leaders possess. The essence of emotional control is the ability to pause before reacting, to assess the situation and respond from a place of strength rather than impulse. This pause creates a space for clarity. It allows decisions to be made based on reason and purpose instead of fleeting feelings. Such discipline is the hallmark of those who succeed not only in personal relationships, but in every aspect of life. Emotional mastery transforms a person from a victim of circumstance into the master of their destiny. When emotions are concealed strategically, they do not vanish. Instead, they are managed internally, processed with self-awareness, and expressed selectively. This does not mean hiding vulnerabilities forever, but choosing the right moments and the right people with whom to share one's true emotional state. This selective expression builds trust and deepens connections without sacrificing dignity or power. It also ensures that emotions do not spill out in destructive ways that undermine credibility and respect. Emotional control is closely tied to self-respect. To honor one's feelings while maintaining composure is a delicate balance. It shows that emotions are acknowledged but not allowed to dictate behavior. This distinction is critical. When a person reacts impulsively to every emotional trigger, they lose authority over themselves. But when they govern their feelings with discipline, they create an aura of calm and reliability that others instinctively trust and admire. Furthermore, emotional control serves as a protective barrier. In every relationship or interaction, emotional exposure is a vulnerability. When emotions are revealed too freely, they can be used against a person, whether through manipulation, judgment, or dismissal. Maintaining emotional discretion keeps one's inner world safe, preventing others from gaining undue influence. This shield allows a person to engage authentically and deeply, yet without fear of exploitation. There is also a practical benefit. Sustained emotional control improves decision-making under pressure. Life will invariably present challenges, frustrations, and disappointments. Those who respond emotionally without control often escalate conflict or make poor choices. In contrast, those who have cultivated emotional discipline maintain clarity and focus, enabling them to navigate difficulties with grace and resilience. This skill separates those who falter from those who thrive when the stakes are highest. Emotional mastery also enhances personal magnetism. A controlled emotional presence is magnetic because it signals strength and reliability. People are drawn to those who do not crumble in the face of adversity, but remain steady and composed. This steadiness fosters respect and confidence, making the person a pillar of support and influence in their community or circle. The power of a calm mind amidst emotional storms cannot be overstated. One must recognize that emotional control is not innate. It is cultivated through conscious effort and practice. It begins with self-awareness, understanding one's emotional triggers and responses. From this awareness grows the ability to choose how to act rather than react. It is a skill honed over time by observing oneself, reflecting, and making deliberate choices in each moment. This journey towards emotional mastery is a lifelong pursuit, but one with immeasurable rewards. To fully grasp the importance of emotional control, consider this. A person who reveals every fleeting emotion is like a book with all its pages visible at once. There is no depth, no suspense, no unfolding story. But the one who controls emotions is like a book with carefully turned pages, revealing only what is necessary, maintaining intrigue and respect. Emotional restraint is the silent language of power. It communicates strength without words and influence without force. In every successful relationship, whether personal or professional, emotional control is the foundation upon which trust and respect are built. It creates a safe environment where open communication can happen without fear of judgment or volatility. This environment is fertile ground for growth, collaboration, and mutual empowerment. Without emotional discipline, relationships become battlegrounds of misunderstanding and turmoil. Ultimately, the mastery of emotions is a defining trait of those who rise above mediocrity. It separates leaders from followers, achievers from dreamers, and those who command their lives from those controlled by circumstance. Emotional control is not the absence of feeling, but the presence of intentionality. It is the ability to harness the powerful currents of emotion and direct them toward a purpose greater than oneself. Those who learn this art do not merely survive, they thrive. They influence without coercion, inspire without volatility, and lead with a calm, steady hand. Emotional control is a fortress built from within, a sanctuary where strength resides and from which true power flows. This mastery is a cornerstone of success in every domain of life, and those who cultivate it hold an advantage that cannot be taken. The path to true achievement is paved with more than just hard work and talent. It is deeply rooted in the wisdom of protecting one's aspirations. Guarding personal goals is not merely about secrecy. It is a strategic act of preserving the energy, clarity, and momentum necessary to transform dreams into reality. When ambitions are shared too soon or too broadly, they become vulnerable, susceptible to doubt, interference, and distraction. Those who understand the value of safeguarding their plans hold a significant advantage over others who rush to announce every step before it is fully formed. The power of silence about one's goals lies in the ability to nurture them in a private sanctuary, free from external pressures and skepticism. Goals that are prematurely exposed invite criticism and negativity, often from those who cannot envision the possibility of success. This negativity can seep in and create self-doubt, slowing progress or even derailing the effort altogether. When goals are guarded carefully, there is space to cultivate belief and commitment internally, strengthening the resolve to see them through. Moreover, withholding full disclosure of goals preserves the element of surprise. Success, when it finally arrives, has greater impact when it is unexpected. If every ambition is broadcast early, there is nothing left but routine. The power of unveiling accomplishments without prior warning is a tool of influence that commands attention, respect, and admiration. It turns achievements into statements of undeniable strength rather than subjects of ongoing debate. Guarding goals also fosters greater personal accountability. When ambitions are internalized rather than externalized, they become commitments made to oneself first and foremost. This private dedication is often more powerful than any public declaration, because it is free from the need for external validation. The individual who works diligently toward a hidden goal does so out of genuine conviction and personal drive, which sustains effort even when external encouragement is absent. Additionally, the act of protecting one's goals cultivates patience and discipline. The world is full of distractions, unsolicited advice, and the temptation to seek approval through premature sharing. Those who guard their plans develop the strength to focus, resisting the urge to reveal every detail before it is time. This discipline enhances the quality of work and the clarity of purpose, allowing progress to unfold steadily and confidently. It is important to note that guarding goals does not mean isolation or a refusal to seek support. Rather, it means being selective about when, how, and with whom to share ambitions. Trusted mentors, advisors, or close confidants can provide valuable guidance and encouragement when invited into the circle. The key difference is control, sharing on one's own terms and timing, rather than broadcasting goals indiscriminately to the world. This strategy also protects against envy and sabotage, realities that are often overlooked but deeply consequential. Success can provoke jealousy, and those who understand your ambitions before they come to fruition may unconsciously or intentionally undermine your progress. By guarding goals, one minimizes the risk of having energy siphoned off by others who do not have one's best interests at heart. Furthermore, protecting personal goals enhances confidence. When ambitions are nurtured quietly, The individual builds inner certainty without the distraction of outside opinions. This internal confidence is unshakable because it is rooted in self, belief, and consistent action, rather than fluctuating approval or feedback. The power of a quietly confident person is immense. They move forward with clarity and purpose, unaffected by noise and doubt from the outside world. There is also a psychological advantage. When goals are hidden, the mind is free to imagine possibilities without limits. Without the pressure of public scrutiny, one can experiment, adjust, and refine plans with greater freedom. This flexibility is crucial because the journey toward success is rarely linear. It requires adaptability, resilience, and creative problem solving, qualities nurtured best in the private space where goals are guarded. One must also consider that the energy spent explaining and defending goals prematurely is energy taken away from the work of achieving them. Time and effort devoted to convincing others or defending ambitions can drain focus and enthusiasm. By contrast, those who guard their goals conserve this vital energy for execution, making their progress more efficient and powerful. Guarding personal goals is, in essence, an act of respect toward oneself. It signals that one values the dreams enough to protect them from unnecessary interference and premature judgment. This respect translates into greater perseverance and a deeper connection to the purpose behind each goal. The individual who understands this principle treats their ambitions like precious seeds, tended carefully in the darkness until ready to bloom brilliantly in full view. The result of such guarded ambition is often dramatic and undeniable success. When the fruits of carefully nurtured goals are finally revealed, they speak louder than words ever could. The quiet confidence, the steady discipline, and the strategic withholding of plans all culminate in a powerful narrative of achievement that commands attention and inspires respect. Ultimately, guarding personal goals is a strategic discipline that separates those who merely dream from those who accomplish. It is an exercise in patience, focus, and self-respect, ensuring that ambition is protected and cultivated until it can flourish without hindrance. This principle, when embraced fully, becomes a cornerstone of lasting success, empowering individuals to shape their futures on their own terms and timeline. The art of communication is not measured by how much one says, but by what one chooses to say. Selective sharing is a profound strategy that transforms ordinary interactions into opportunities for influence, respect, and trust. It is the deliberate act of revealing only what serves a purpose, protects one's integrity, and enhances one's position. In a world overwhelmed by constant information and oversharing, the ability to communicate with discernment is a rare and powerful skill. When every thought and feeling is exposed without discretion, the impact of one's words diminishes. Oversharing leads to dilution of value. The more one reveals, the less there is to be intrigued by or to respect. On the other hand, selective sharing creates a sense of anticipation and curiosity. It keeps others engaged, encouraging them to listen closely and value the insights that are offered. This dynamic builds a foundation of respect that cannot be achieved through endless disclosure. Selective sharing also functions as a safeguard. Not every detail is meant for every audience. Sharing too much can unintentionally reveal vulnerabilities, invite criticism, or create misunderstanding. By choosing carefully what to disclose and what to withhold, one maintains control over their personal narrative and protects emotional energy. This protection preserves mental clarity and prevents unnecessary distractions that could undermine progress. Moreover, selective sharing is a demonstration of self-respect. It communicates that one's thoughts, feelings, and experiences are valuable and not to be tossed carelessly into every conversation. This self-regard naturally commands respect from others, signaling confidence and wisdom. Those who share selectively send a silent message. They know their worth and will not devalue themselves by indiscriminate revelation. There is also a strategic advantage in revealing information gradually and purposefully. When shared selectively, facts and emotions can be tailored to the audience and situation, maximizing their impact. Timing becomes a tool for influence, By releasing information in measured doses, one guides conversations and shapes perceptions rather than reacting passively. This strategy is especially vital in relationships, negotiations, and leadership, where the balance of power is often influenced by what is known and what remains undisclosed. Selective sharing deepens trust as well. When others realize that certain information is shared only with them, it creates a sense of privilege and connection. This fosters loyalty and strengthens bonds. Trust built on careful disclosure is more durable because it is based on respect and discernment rather than overshared intimacy that can breed resentment or misunderstanding. Importantly, this principle requires emotional intelligence. Understanding when and what to share demands awareness of context, relationships, and the possible consequences of disclosure. It is not about manipulation or deceit, but about wise stewardship of one's personal story. This wisdom ensures that communication remains authentic yet guarded, open yet resilient. Selective sharing also helps in managing expectations and reducing conflict. When too much is revealed too soon, it can lead to misunderstandings or false assumptions. By controlling the flow of information, one sets clear boundaries and avoids unnecessary complications. This clarity in communication prevents many disputes and fosters healthier interactions built on mutual understanding. In the face of challenges or criticism, selective sharing enables resilience. It allows one to present only the facts or emotions that support their position while withholding reactive impulses that could escalate conflict. This measured communication preserves dignity and keeps interactions constructive, demonstrating maturity and leadership. The discipline of selective sharing is cultivated through practice and reflection. It demands the courage to hold back, to resist the urge to fill silences or respond immediately. It requires trust in oneself that what is not said now can be shared later when the time is right. This patience is a sign of strength, not weakness. Ultimately, selective sharing is a powerful tool for shaping one's identity and influence. It transforms communication from a mere exchange of information into an art form that commands attention, builds respect, and fosters meaningful connections. Those who master this art do not simply react to the world, they shape it with intention and wisdom. The true power of words lies not just in their content, but in their timing, their delivery, and the choice to keep some things hidden. In this restraint lies strength, and in strength lies the foundation for lasting success in all areas of life. The ability to share selectively is more than a communication skill, it is a profound expression of self, mastery, and strategic influence. The essence of true strength lies in the unwavering commitment to maintaining one's independence, an independence that is not merely physical or financial, but deeply rooted in the mind, spirit, and heart. This independence is the cornerstone of self-respect and personal power. It ensures that decisions are made from a place of freedom rather than obligation, and that one's path is chosen by conviction, not by influence or pressure from others. To maintain independence is to safeguard the very foundation upon which confidence and dignity are built. When independence is preserved, it creates a space where authenticity can flourish. Without the need to conform or seek approval, there is freedom to express one's true self and pursue one's own vision of success and happiness. This freedom is magnetic, inspiring admiration and respect from others. Those who are independent command attention not because they seek it, but because their self-sufficiency shines through every action and word. Independence signals that one is whole and complete, not defined or diminished by reliance on another. Moreover, maintaining independence is a strategic defense against manipulation. In any relationship or interaction, dependence can create power imbalances that leave one vulnerable to control or coercion. When a person stands firm in their independence, they neutralize these vulnerabilities. This does not mean rejecting connection or support, but rather cultivating a strength that is self-generated and not contingent on external forces. Independence is a fortress that protects against losing oneself in the desires or expectations of others. Independence nurtures clarity of purpose. When decisions are made free from undue influence, they align more closely with true values and long-term goals. This alignment fosters greater fulfillment and effectiveness. It allows one to navigate challenges with confidence because the path is chosen intentionally, not taken by default or out of convenience. The power of a clear, self-directed vision cannot be overstated. It becomes a beacon that guides through uncertainty and opposition. In addition, independence fosters resilience. Life is unpredictable and often presents obstacles that test one's resolve. Those who maintain their independence are better equipped to withstand these trials because their sense of self is not easily shaken. They possess an inner reservoir of strength that sustains them through hardship and keeps them moving forward. This resilience is a direct result of the autonomy they have cultivated. It is the strength that comes from knowing one can stand alone if necessary. Financial independence, while important, is only one dimension of this broader principle. True independence encompasses emotional, intellectual, and spiritual dimensions as well. Emotional independence means not being controlled by the moods, opinions, or approval of others. Intellectual independence means thinking critically and forming one's own beliefs, rather than simply accepting popular opinions. Spiritual independence involves a connection to one's inner values and truths that remain steady despite external turmoil. Together, these dimensions form a holistic independence that empowers every aspect of life. Maintaining independence requires conscious effort and ongoing commitment. It demands the courage to set boundaries and the wisdom to recognize when compromise threatens core values. It means making choices that sometimes defy expectations or social pressures. This path is not always easy, as it can involve moments of loneliness or conflict, but the rewards far outweigh the challenges. Independence cultivates a life lived on one's own terms, rich with authenticity and purpose. Furthermore, independence enhances self-confidence. When one knows that they can rely on themselves, it eliminates the fear of abandonment or rejection. This confidence radiates outward, influencing how others perceive and respond to them. People who demonstrate independence inspire trust and admiration because they embody stability and reliability. They become natural leaders, not through dominance, but through the quiet strength of self-mastery. Independence also encourages growth and continuous learning. Free from limiting beliefs imposed by others, an independent mind is open to exploration, innovation, and self-improvement. It embraces challenges as opportunities and views setbacks as lessons rather than failures. This mindset is essential for long-term success and fulfillment. In any relationship, maintaining independence creates balance and mutual respect. It prevents the loss of identity that often accompanies codependence or excessive compromise. When both parties honor their independence, the relationship becomes a partnership of equals, where each person supports and uplifts the other without sacrificing their own wholeness. This balance fosters deeper connection, trust, and lasting harmony. Ultimately, the commitment to maintaining independence is a declaration of self-worth. It affirms that one's life is valuable and that one deserves to live with dignity and freedom. This principle is a guiding light for anyone seeking to build a life of significance and joy. Independence is not isolation, it is empowerment, the ability to stand tall, speak with authority, and act with conviction regardless of external circumstances. Those who embrace this principle do not merely survive life's challenges, they transcend them. They shape their own destinies and inspire others to do the same. Maintaining independence is the bedrock upon which greatness is built. It is the quiet power that fuels dreams, nurtures resilience, and sustains success across every dimension of life.